Hello, this is Wes Long with AgroTech USA. We're here in Southeast Arkansas with our Director of Agronomy, Robb Dedman. The corn that we're in today is about V4 to V5. We know farmers are getting ready to side dress. So Robb, let's talk about the importance of phosphorus in the corn, what NutriCharge can do for it. Then we're going to go into calcium, and then our zinc levels being important too. So tell us a little bit about NutriCharge and what we can do for these farmers in a side dress application.
So Wes, when we apply NutriCharge in a side dress application, we know obviously that from basically a corn is going to take up 75% of its phosphorus from V10 on. So we've got this corn, we're building this yield right now, right? We know from early in this corn's plant all the way up to V6, we're determining yield. But after V6, when we go into that rapid growth stage, this plant's really gonna start sucking in those nutrients, phosphorus being one of them. We need to have that ready. Side dress application in your Y drop, your cultivar, your knife rig, whatever you're putting that liquid or that dry urea or form of nitrogen out, we can be a part of that. We can help make that phosphorus in that soil become up to 30% more available. Just think about if we could increase that phosphorus dollar 30%, Wes.
No doubt. This particular farmer is going to be using a 32%. Kind of go over how we can put it in liquid, and we've got a lot of farmers in this area that will treat with dry fertility because they just don't maybe have the capability or the manpower to put out liquid.
So in these side dress applications, the majority of these are going to be over 15 gallons to the acre. I'm going to recommend for a guy, especially that guy that hasn't used NutriCharge already in his program, going to be recommending about 9.6 to 10 ounces per acre to be added right into that fertilizer. No mixing issues whatsoever. Pour it right in the tank as you're filling the bulk tank. Pour it right in the applicator as you're filling the applicator. You know, that's a great option. When we go on the nitrogen at the fertilizer house, going to be blended on that dry fertility impregnated, we can go out at a quart per acre. And that's basically what you're going to be getting the equivalent of is about 2 ounces per 100 pounds applied then. So, you know, most of this is going to be 300 pounds per acre. We're going to see 6 ounces be put out here at that point in time, spread in a broadcast manner on that dry fertility. Really do like both of those options.
So like Robb said, we know that the corn plant is going to be needing about 70% of its phosphorus load kind of coming into V10 before we get rid of that, get to shoot that tassel out. Let's also go over the importance of calcium because we're going to free that calcium up too,
right?
And we're going to stop that formation of a calcium phosphate in the soil.
Yeah. So when NutriCharge is used in your system, we break the bonds between the calcium and the phosphorus. We're breaking the bonds between the cations and the anions. All right. So when we do that, we're going to free up that calcium. You're going to see more free calcium into your plant. We're going to see these plants have a stronger cell wall. They're going to have more stalk, what's the right word? Maybe stalk retention. They're not going to want to lodge as bad. Theoretically, is what we're saying.
And we'll have more of a circular stalk than an oval. Oval stalk, we've always kind of learned that's kind of a calcium deficiency.
Yeah, when we see these oval stalks, we know that that's tending to lead towards a little bit of a calcium deficiency in these corn. We'll see that stalk really round up. We'll see that stalk bulk up. We're going to see more stalk girth. We see that. We'll see more leaf width. You know, calcium helps the nutrients flow through the plant. So when we've got calcium available, it's able to take other nutrients through the plant as well. Lots of benefits, you know. Phosphorus, when we free up that phosphorus, we're going to go to increasing that ATP production. We're going to help increase that production of sugars and carbohydrates, which is all going to go to leading to yield throughout the season.
And kind of another benefit that we talk about is the ammonia form of nitrogen we have that we use in the South, or pretty much in the United States on corn, is an ammonia form, has a positive charge. Let's kind of talk about, you know, some ancillary benefits of NutriCharge and what it can do to that denitrification process in the soil.
Yeah, so when we have that urea or that 32% or whatever form of nitrogen you're putting out there, we know that that ammonium form of nitrogen is going to be less leachable than that nitrate form. We know the plant can take up both. We're going to hold that plant, we're going to hold that nitrogen in ammonium form longer because we're going to slow down that conversion to nitrate. We're not going to stop it, but we're going to slow it down. We're going to give that plant a much longer period of time to take up that ammonia form of nitrogen, therefore increasing that plant's nitrogen use efficiency.
Awesome. So we're going to get more phosphorus in the plant. We're going to get more calcium in the plant. We're going to get more nitrogen in the plant.
Yep.
Hey,
Let's talk about one more thing. Let's talk about zinc. I don't know that we talk about zinc enough. We know that as we increase the amount of phosphorus that we're providing for the plant, that we also need to have that available zinc for that plant to work with, because we know that zinc and phosphorus work in a ratio of approximately 10 to 1, 10 parts zinc, 10 parts phosphorus to 1 part zinc, and it helps the uptake of the phosphorus into the plant. So if we are in an area that we remotely think that we are deficient in zinc, or not deficient, but not quite sufficient, then it may be to the farmer's advantage to add a little bit of zinc into that nitrogen when he's putting that out to help prevent any potential deficiencies down the road.
And in this area, I wouldn't say we're super high. We're probably low. We're about that 4 to 6 parts per million, which is, on your soil test, isn't going to reach super low, but we want them a little higher. Where would you like to see optimal of a guy's zinc level, parts per million on the soil test?
That's $1 million question, because what we will ultimately see there is that that zinc level needs to be in some form of a ratio to the phosphorus level. So if we're in these lower P soils that we have around here, then we get away with a lower zinc number. But as that P level increases, when we move into parts of this state that have used a lot of chicken litter or manures and stuff over the years, and they've really raised that P number up, well, that's when that zinc number needs to be coming up with it accordingly.
Awesome. So we're going to get phosphorus, we're going to get calcium, nitrogen. Let's make sure our zinc levels are right. And as always, if you guys got any question, you can reach out to us at AgroTechUSA.com. I'm Wes Long. This is Robb Dedman, the Director of Agronomy. Please feel free to reach out anytime. Be happy to work with you.
Yep.
Thank you very much.